Because he woke up too late, the man failed to get the coal meant for the winter. Luckily, some coal had fallen off a truck that had just passed by. His son wanted to pick up the coal from the ground, but the man stopped him. He thought picking things up off the street was embarrassing. Meanwhile, his sick child at home desperately needed warmth. The mother could not believe what the father had done. She did not care about pride. She took her son outside to gather coal from the road. But in the end, they were too late. The child still froze to death that day. No one blamed the father, because it was not the cold that truly killed the child, but the poverty of that era. All 6 of them had to sleep in one bed. They lived on 16 shillings a month. They ate gray bread mixed with scraps. The father, a drunk, made no effort to improve. He spent what little money they had on alcohol. That night, another child failed to survive the winter. The family of 6 became a family of 4. The father, who never believed in God, began to pray. He begged for mercy. Frank also believed that praying might help. He did not want to lose his only remaining brother. But the one Frank should have been praying about was his father. He was the real reason their situation kept getting worse. One day the father promised to buy groceries, but Frank could not find him at the market. So he went to a nearby bar. As expected, his father was there drinking. The father said he would just have one last drink. Frank finally snapped. His brother had just died. There was no food at home, and yet his father was still drinking away their money. The father felt ashamed after being scolded. It seemed like he made up his mind to change, but he always made promises he could not keep. The mother, on the other hand, always took action. She swallowed her pride to support the family. She took her son to a charity center. She explained how difficult their situation was. She had already lost 2 children to the cold, but behind her was a long line of people. They were all struggling just like her. In the end, she only received 2 mattresses. There was no increase in income. Yet that same day she gave birth to another child. Looking at the baby, she complained about how useless the father was. She did not want another child to suffer. The father got angry and wanted to prove himself. He found a tire in the trash outside. He used the rubber to fix Frank's worn-out shoes. That way, they would not have to buy a new pair. It was like saving the cost of a new pair of shoes. But the shoes brought trouble for Frank at school. The other kids laughed at him. They said he did not even have proper shoes. Frank felt ashamed. He threw the shoes into the trash. When the teacher found out, he stopped the students angrily. He told them wearing repaired shoes was nothing to be ashamed of. Poverty was not something to mock. Those words stayed with Frank. With a good teacher guiding him, he did not lose his values. His father also seemed to change for a while. He went out looking for work, but even though he begged humbly, he was rejected again and again. Finally, one day, he found a job. He became a laborer at a cement factory. He cleaned his shoes carefully. The mother helped button his collar. The whole family was happy. It felt like light had finally come into their lives, but the unreliable father disappointed them again. Night came, but he still had not returned. The mother already knew what had happened. He had been fired for drinking on the job, and he came back drunk again. Frank looked at his father. He was completely disappointed. Fortunately, he still had a good teacher that kept him from going down the wrong path. A few years passed. Frank became a middle school student. He made a bad friend. They went to the movies together. They stole apples from other people's homes. They even went fishing in the wild. But his father never changed. He had no job and kept drinking. One day, another child was born into the family. When the grandfather heard the news, he sent them some money. Frank knew his father would spend it on alcohol again. He and his brother begged him not to go, but the father still walked into the bar. Frank went home and told his mother. She told him to go to the bar and shout, to tell everyone his father was a man who ignored his family and kept drinking. But when Frank got there and saw his father inside, he could not say a word, because he still loved him. He did not want to humiliate him. Frank lied and said he could not find him. The next day the father sweet-talked the mother. She stopped being angry, but their situation did not improve. Frank fainted from malnutrition. Unexpectedly, during his hospital stay, he discovered a talent. After examination, the doctor said he just needed nutrition and rest. The doctor gave him some books. Frank found that he loved reading them. He would lose track of time while reading. Sometimes he even read in the bathroom for hours. He became completely absorbed in books, and he learned from them. After leaving the hospital, he returned to school. Now his writing was outstanding, far beyond what was expected for his age. His classmates were stunned. Even the teacher was amazed. The principal realized Frank might become the first college student in the village. He decided to teach him personally, but Frank's dream was shattered again by his father. At that time, many people believed going to England to work could make you rich. The father did not believe it, but the mother did. She ignored him unless he agreed to go to England. So the father left. The whole family saw him off. He boasted that within a month, he would send back a large amount of money, enough for the family to live well. but as expected, he could not do it. Each time the mailman came, there was nothing for them. The mother's hope turned into disappointment. The little money they had was gone. She had to go to charity centers to compete for food. Seeing this, Frank felt terrible. So he stopped thinking about studying and decided to find a job himself.